Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to talk about something many students experience: studying hard, spending time with the material, and still not feeling ready when it is time for a quiz, exam, paper, or final. First, I want to be clear. This lecture is not about blaming your effort. If you are showing up, reading, taking notes, watching videos, or trying to review, that effort counts. The problem is, that effort alone does not always create learning. If the method is too passive, you can spend a lot of time studying without getting honest feedback about what you actually know. So here we will look at the difference between studying hard and studying in a way that prepares your brain to retrieve, explain, and apply the material. Many students fall into a very common loop. They attend class, take notes, highlight readings, reread before the exam, and hope the material sticks. This loop can feel responsible because the student is doing something. They are not ignoring the class. They are spending time with the material. But there is a problem. This loop often keeps the answer visible the whole time. When the answer is always in front of you, it is hard to know whether you can actually remember it later. That is why students sometimes feel surprised during exams. The material looked familiar while studying, but the exam asks them to produce an answer, explain a concept, apply a process, or choose between similar options. A better system has to test memory before the exam does. Passive studying feels productive because the material is right in front of you. Rereading notes, highlighting, copying definitions, and watching videos can all feel like learning. And to be fair, these habits are not always useless. They can help you get introduced to the material. The issue is when they become the entire study system. If you never close the notes, pause the video, attempt the problem, or answer a question from memory, then you may not know what you can actually do without help. That is where false confidence can happen. You think, "I know this," because it looks familiar. But later, when the notes are gone, familiarity may not be enough. This course will help you keep what is useful from passive study, but add active steps that reveal what you really know. This is one of the most important ideas in the course. Familiarity is not the same as mastery. Familiarity means you recognize the material when you see it. Mastery means you can recall it, explain it, solve with it, or apply it without looking. For example, you may look at a diagram and think, "Yes, I remember this." But if someone covers the labels and asks you to explain the process, you may realize you do not know it as well as you thought. That is not failure. That is useful feedback. College assignments and exams often require mastery. They ask you to write, solve, compare, explain, analyze, or apply. That is why our study system needs active practice. Cramming is common because students are busy. You may have other classes, work, family responsibilities, and life happening outside of school. But waiting until the last minute creates pressure. There is too much material at once, and weak areas show up too late. A better approach is not to study all day. A better approach is to review in smaller pieces before the pressure builds. Even a short review after class, a few flashcards during the week, or a quick recall session before the weekend can make a difference. The goal is to make exam week feel like review, not like starting from zero. Small reviews over time are easier to manage than last-minute panic. The shift is moving from passive studying to active studying. Active studying means your brain does the work before the exam does. Instead of only rereading, you close your notes and write what you remember. Instead of only highlighting, you turn headings into questions. Instead of watching a video straight through, you pause and explain the main idea. Instead of looking at the solution first, you try the problem and then check. Active studying may feel harder at first. That is normal. It feels harder because you are retrieving, explaining, solving, or applying. But that effort is useful because it shows what you know and what still needs review. You do not need to change everything at once. Start with one upgrade. Here is your action step for this lecture. Choose one passive study habit you currently use. Maybe you reread notes before a quiz. Maybe you highlight large sections. Maybe you watch videos without pausing. Maybe you look at solved problems before trying them yourself. Now choose one active upgrade. Close your notes and recall first. Turn a heading into a question. Pause the video and explain the idea. Attempt the practice problem before checking the solution. Keep it simple. You do not need to become a perfect student today. You just need one better habit to practice. In the next lecture, we will connect this idea to the full Learn Study system. Well, if this video was helpful, I cover the full Learn Study system in my Udemy course, How to Study in College, Notes, Exams, and Finals. In the course, you will learn how to plan your semester, take better notes, study actively, review over time, and prepare for quizzes, exams, papers, and finals. You can find the course link in the video description, along with any available promotions or discounted access. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you study with more structure, less cramming, and more confidence. I wish you much success in your college studying. Start small, stay consistent, and keep building a study system that works for your real life, one week at a time.